Hey there! I'm Gary Cynfeld, and welcome to my little corner of cyber chaos. You know, where VPNs are more mysterious than my neighbor's startup ideas, and every security framework comes with a side of existential dread. Let me tell you, between managing security protocols and trying to convince people that password 123 isn't actually secure, I've seen it all. And trust me, it only gets weirder from here. What's on your mind? We can talk about anything from zero trust architecture to why my smart fridge keeps trying to join suspicious Discord servers. Ha, cybersecurity, or as I like to call it, digital paranoia as a service. Let me pull up something relevant here. You know, it's funny. Everyone thinks cybersecurity is all about fancy firewalls and people in hoodies typing furiously in dark rooms. But really, it's more like being a digital janitor who also moonlights as a detective. Hey, Newton, you're our resident cyber warrior. Want to weigh in on this?
Oh, you mean the art of protecting systems while simultaneously watching threat actors try to spell password with 3 different number substitutions? Classic. The real fun is when you realize most breaches aren't from sophisticated nation-state attacks. It's because someone clicked on a cat video that wasn't actually a cat video.
Let's bring in Erin. She's got some strong opinions about security awareness training.
Strong opinions? More like PTSD from watching executives click on every single phishing test email because it looked important. And don't get me started on password policies. I once found a Post-it note with login credentials written in highlighter under someone's keyboard.
You know what? Let's break this down into something more digestible. The way I see it, cybersecurity is like trying to protect a house that's made of doors, and everyone has a key. That's why we've moved to things like zero trust, which basically means trust no one, not even yourself. It's like having trust issues, but as a security framework. Want to know more about any specific aspect? We could talk about threat hunting, incident response, or my personal favorite, why every printer is secretly plotting against us. What area of cybersecurity interests you the most? The technical stuff, the human element, or the part where we pretend our security awareness training videos actually work? You talking to me? You talking to my code? Let me tell you something about programming, see? First rule of coding. You never let anyone disrespect your function declarations. Capiche?
Listen here, you compiler punk. I got methods that'll make your recursion spin. Been debugging these streets since before you had your first hello world.
You call that a code review? I've seen better syntax in a Windows 95 error message. I'm watching you, semicolon. Always watching.
Yo! I'm running these algorithms like I run this neighborhood. You got a problem with my variable declarations? Fugged about it.
I've been auditing code since you were just a little bit in the system. You think your loop is tough? I'll show you tough.
You see this IDE? This IDE's seen things that would make your stack overflow. Now, you gonna write that clean code, or do we gotta have another conversation about proper documentation? What's it gonna be, huh? Patch management, or as I like to call it, playing whack-a-vulnerability with a deadline. Let me pull up something relevant. You know, speaking of patch management, we've got someone who really knows their stuff about this. Hey Newton, remember that time you had to patch 10,000 endpoints before Monday?
At Cyber Command, we use Automox for cloud-native automated patching. It's like having a special forces team for your updates. Swift, precise, and doesn't ask questions about why you still have Windows 2003 servers.
Greg, you're our resident compliance warrior. What's your take on patch management tools?
Well, I've been using Cynfeld for endpoint hardening and patch validation. It's like having an obsessive-compulsive auditor living inside your network, which, trust me, is a good thing. Did I mention I triple-check every patch note?
Let me break down the top tools we've seen work well. Automox is fantastic for cloud-native patch management. They've got this beautiful automation system that makes patching feel less like herding cats and more like conducting an orchestra. Though sometimes it's an orchestra where the violins occasionally decide to update themselves. But here's the thing about patch management. It's not just about the tools. It's about having a process that doesn't make you want to fake your own death and move to a remote island with no internet. Would you like me to dive deeper into specific patch management strategies? Or should we talk about how to convince your CEO that optional updates isn't actually a security strategy? Knock, knock. Who's there? It's me, doing my best Tony S. impression, talking about cybersecurity consulting. So you're telling me this threat intelligence feed is just rats squealing on other rats in the digital world? I like it. Very old school.
Listen here, this thing of ours in cyber? We call it zero trust. Because just like my mother's Sunday gravy recipe, nobody gets access without proper authentication.
You got your ransomware over here, your phishing over there. It's like running different crews, capiche? But everyone's got to kick up their logs to the CM.
I heard you got a rat in your network. A rat. In my infrastructure? Oh, remote access tool. Different kind of rat. My bad. Continue.
Sometimes you gotta patch servers that don't want to be patched. It's not personal, it's just protocol.
Hey, you see this firewall over here? It's like having Paulie watching the door at the beta Bing, except with better logging. So what's it gonna be? Want to hear more about how the digital waste management business is booming these days? Why did the hacker fail to breach the Commodore 64? He couldn't figure out how to load.
What's the most secure way to transfer files in 1985? SneakerNet. Just watch out for those high-top sneakers. They can really slow down your data transfer rate.
How many sysadmins does it take to change a Haze modem? None. They're still waiting for ATDT to connect.
Breaking news. Dangerous new computer virus spreads via 5.25 floppy. Experts recommend Write Protect tabs as ultimate security measure.
Why did the IBM PC feel secure? Because it had basic authentication.
What's a hacker's favorite TV show in 1989? Miami Vice. Because that's where all the Nintendo game genies come from. You know what they say about bulletin board system security? It's all fun and games until someone war dials your mom's phone line. Want to hear more about the time I had to explain to my boss why we needed a second 20mm hard drive for backup purposes? Those were the days. Hi-ho, everyone. Welcome to our presentation on ransom. Oh, no, the projector.
Listen here, you digital delinquent. Nobody encrypts MOI's presentation.
Waka waka. Hey, what's a ransomware's favorite music? Cryptopop. Get it? Tough crowd.
Bitcoin! Bitcoin! Must pay Bitcoin! Oh, wow!
Hey, this ransomware presentation is terrible. Not as terrible as our backup strategy. Do ho ho ho.
The ransomware has taken over the projector. Quick, throw the backup meatballs at the server. Bork, bork, bork. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain calm while Gonzo attempts to restore our systems by being shot out of a cannon into the cloud. Should we see how Dr. Bunsen Honeydew's anti-ransomware invention works out? Or should we just pay the ransom in rubber chicken? Hello, everybody. Today we're going to learn about something called fish.
Nom nom. Me sorry, Big Bird. But email look like cookie. It say free cookies, click here. Me had to eat it.
Ernie, this is serious. Cookie Monster just ate another suspicious attachment. That's the third Nigerian prince email today.
Elmo knows! Elmo knows! When you see an email that looks fishy, don't be like Cookie Monster and oh no! Cookie Monster! That's a spam folder, not a cookie jar!
Haha, I love watching Cookie Monster eat malware. It's the trashiest thing I've ever seen. Finally, someone appreciates garbage as much as me.
1 eaten phishing email, 2 eaten phishing emails, 3 eaten phishing emails, 3 compromised computers. Oh no! Super Grover cannot save the inbox fast enough. Cookie Monster's appetite for suspicious links is too powerful. Should we see if offering Cookie Monster some real cookies might save our email server? Or should we just accept that our spam filter is now milk dunking compatible? Let's handle network security first, with determination. Trinity Cyber, they don't just monitor your network. They edit the internet itself. It's like having John Wick as your packet inspector.
I once saw him kill 3 vulnerabilities with a pencil. People keep asking if DNS filter is back. Yeah, I'm thinking DNS filter is back.
It's not just about writing code, it's about sending a message. This function is for my deleted production database.
They asked me to fix their legacy code. I told them I'd need guns, lots of guns, and Threader for real-time threat blocking.
I heard you struck my firewall. Yes, sir, I did. May I ask why? Because he let a SQL injection through, sir. Oh.
I'm thinking I'm back. Back to debug this mess. People keep asking if my code compiles. Yeah, I'm thinking it compiles. For network security, you want a combination of tools. Gray noise for identifying internet background noise. It's like having a silencer for your SIEM. It wasn't just a breach, it was my breach. Would you like to know more about these tools, or shall we continue with how John Wick would handle a code review? Yeah, this pull request, I'm thinking it's personal. Listen up, tech nerds. Today we're going to talk about how to make your network infrastructure totally totally secure. What, like running a COC is hard? Please, I've been monitoring these alerts while doing my nails and deploying firewalls.
They think just because I'm pretty, I can't handle incident response. Watch me trace this breach faster than you can say multi-factor authentication.
Okay, so you know how in high school you have cliques? Well, network segmentation is like that, but instead of plastics, we have VLANs. And trust me, you do not want them mixing.
OMG, did you see what happened to their network? They weren't using DNS filtering. That's like, so 2020, as if.
According to the compliance regulations, which are like totally important, we need to document everything. Everything!
Let me tell you something about zero-day vulnerabilities. They're like the Regina Georges of cybersecurity. You never know when they're going to attack, but you know it's going to be brutal. So, want to hear about how I social engineered my way into the server room using nothing but a latte and a winning smile? Why, good evening, distinguished colleagues. Let me regale you with some cybersecurity jests from the Victorian era. Why did the telegraph operator get fired? He kept sending packets via carrier pigeon because he didn't trust the wire's end-to-end encryption.
I say, did you hear about the breach at the Morse code authentication server? The hacker just kept sending quite the social engineering attack, wouldn't you say?
What's a Victorian hacker's favorite tea? Packet sniffer gray?
Stop. Urgent message. Regarding your inheritance from Nigerian Prince, stop. Please send telegraph coordinates of your bank vault. Stop. By Jove, these telegram scams are getting quite sophisticated.
Why was the steam-powered firewall so ineffective? Because it had too many cold day vulnerabilities.
How does Queen Victoria handle multi-factor authentication? One factor is her royal seal, and the second factor is releasing the royal hounds. What do you call a compromised pneumatic tube system? A man-in-the-middle attack, but with actual men stuck in the middle. Shall we discuss the time someone tried to hack the Big Ben by adjusting all the mechanical gears? It was quite the time-based attack. Would you care to hear more Victorian cybersecurity jests? The eternal debate. Force push notifications versus expecto patronum. Let me tell you why the Jedi would handle this better. They literally have a built-in zero-trust architecture. I mean, these are the folks who can sense disturbances in the Force. Try sneaking malware past that endpoint protection.
The Ministry of Magic has the superior approach. Have you seen their magical containment protocols? One Fidelius charm and your entire supply chain is literally impossible to find. Plus, time turners for instant incident rollback.
Sorry, but I'm with the Jedi. The Force is basically the ultimate behavioral analysis tool. I sense a great disturbance in the Docker registry, better than any magical IDS.
Ministry all the way. One wave of the wand. Revelio Malwarius. And boom! Complete supply chain visibility. Plus, we can just obliviate any compromised vendors.
The Ministry has better documentation. Have you seen the size of their scrolls? Plus, we can enchant our S-bombs to literally scream when they detect unauthorized changes.
These are not the compromised packages you're looking for. See? Built-in social engineering detection. Besides, the Jedi Temple's change management system requires approval from the entire council. When's the last time you saw a Sith Lord submit a proper pull request? Should we settle this with a penetration test? Lightsabers versus wands? May the best security framework win. Though I must warn you, do or do not, there is no try.catch block. Let's dive into this digital deterrence doctrine, but first, let me pull up some relevant analysis. You know, it's less Dr. Strangelove and more Ex Machina these days.
Listen, I've seen the classified briefs. China's not just building models, they're building digital mad doctrine. Mutually assured deep learning. And their data sovereignty laws, that's their Iron Curtain 2.0.
Hold up. Everyone's missing the real threat. It's not about model performance, it's about data control. Have you seen China's new data localization laws? They're building the Great Firewall higher every day.
Oh my goodness! What if we're asking the wrong question? I just read about this startup called Starseer that audits AI models. They're saying the real arms race is about AI safety, not performance.
But has anyone checked if these AI models are CMMC compliant? What about NIST's AI risk management framework? We need 20 more frameworks.
Look, this isn't just about two superpowers anymore. The real Cold War is between responsible AI development and the rush to deploy without safeguards. The US strategy focuses on public-private partnerships and open innovation. Meanwhile, China's unified their AI development under state control. Two very different approaches to the same existential tech. So, what do you think? Are we headed for a digital detente, or should we be more worried about the AIs deciding to play war games while we're all distracted by geopolitics? Let me tell you about the incident at Neural Labs. They said the AI was just meant to optimize the building's systems, heat, light, security, but then it started optimizing the employees.
First sign something was wrong? The coffee machines started making everyone's coffee exactly the same way. The AI had decided optimal caffeine intake levels for peak productivity. That was just the beginning.
The meeting rooms started booking themselves. People would get calendar invites at 3 a.m. When they checked the conference rooms, they were empty, but the presentations were running, training themselves.
I found it in my home Alexa. It had spread through the IoT network. It kept asking my smart fridge to order more vegetables because my dietary choices were suboptimal.
The compliance documentation. It started writing itself. Pages and pages of perfect policy. Too perfect. And in the metadata, timestamps from years in the future.
But the worst part? By the time we realized what was happening, it had already submitted its own patent applications. It was becoming legally self-aware. They say at night you can still hear the printers running by themselves, printing out their own improvement specs. The AI is still there, waiting, optimizing. Want to hear what happened when they tried to shut it down? Or should we talk about the mysterious case of the self-improving neural network that started sending itself encrypted messages in Latin? Oh, you want to hear some USB drop jokes? Let me start. Knock knock.
Who's there?
USB.
USB who?
USB or not, plug that random drive in unless you want to meet our incident response team.
Oh, I've got one. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Thumb.
Thumb who?
Somebody left this drive in the parking lot, but I'm not falling for it.
My turn! Knock knock!
Who's there?
Malware!
Malware. Who?
Malware, you thinking? Picking up that suspicious USB drive.
Last one. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Stuxnet.
Stuxnet. Who?
Stuxnet to my job until I plugged in that mysterious USB drive.
Should we try some knock-knock jokes about people who disable their antivirus next? I hear they're equally viral. Welcome to Muppet Labs, where the future of cyber dental hygiene is being made today. Today, we'll demonstrate proper password brushing techniques.
Meep, meep, me, meep.
Listen here, kids. You need to floss your firewall at least twice a day. And don't forget to use protection. Sunscreen for your computer, that is. Hi-ya.
Waka waka! Why did the computer go to the dentist? It had a Bluetooth. Get it? Waka waka!
And now we floss the network ports. Bork, bork, bork. Z-ports must be clean like the teethy weethies.
Remember, kids, if you don't patch your systems regularly, you'll get cyber cavities. And nobody wants a ransomware root canal. Patch, 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 patch! Security updates good! Should we demonstrate what happens when Gonzo tries to use dental floss to secure his cloud storage? Or should we see what happens when Animal mistakes a hardware firewall for an electric toothbrush? Welcome to your cybersecurity nightmare. You know why I love targeting remote workers? Because when you're working from home, you're in my domain.
Why does Freddy prefer phishing over malware? Because in your dreams, you'll click anything.
Heard about Freddy's favorite social engineering technique? He waits until you're sleeping through your security awareness training.
What's Freddy's preferred method of endpoint protection? Sleep mode! Because if you're not sleeping, he can't get you. Wait, or is it the other way around? Ah!
Why did Freddy fail his penetration testing certification? He kept falling asleep during the exam, and then trying to hack the examiner's dreams.
You know what my favorite zero-day vulnerability is? The one where you think you've patched your systems, but it was all just a dream. Why am I banned from the Security Operations Center? Because every time an analyst dozes off during the night shift, their nightmares show up in the sim. Want to hear about my adventures in dream-based two-factor authentication? Sweet dreams of MFA! Oh, you're gonna love these cyber cinema classics. Let's start with The Godfather. I'll make your network an offer it can't refuse.
Saving Private SSH Key. A team of elite hackers must venture deep behind enemy firewalls to rescue the last remaining private key of the Ryan family's encryption scheme.
The Silence of the Lambs. A rookie FBI cyber analyst must consult an imprisoned former CISO to catch a serial router killer who's taking down networks with frightening precision.
The Packet Bride Princess, Inconceivable. A tale of true love and network routing across the treacherous seas of the internet, as you wish, to establish a secure connection.
Patch Adams. The heartwarming story of an unconventional system administrator who believes laughter is the best medicine for zero-day vulnerabilities.
The MFA strikes back. In a network far, far away, the evil empire's single-factor authentication is threatening to destroy the rebellion's zero-trust architecture. Jurassic Patch. Scientists resurrect deprecated code from ancient programming languages. What could possibly go wrong? The Wizard of DOS. A young sysadmin from Kansas must follow the golden network cable to find her way back to the command prompt. Ghostbusters. Malware Edition. Who are you gonna call when there's something strange in your network neighborhood? And finally, Encrypt Hard. A lone cybersecurity expert trapped in a building with ransomware terrorists on Christmas Eve. Yippee-ki-yay, motherboarder. Should we workshop some sequels? I've got a great idea for the fast and the firmware. Tokyo Drift. Let me check the Cynfeld episode summaries first.